most people know me, so I found the program. So this is my favorite program. I really enjoy it. I went to every year with the kids, and I will still go this year. And Miss Lana will go to the trip too. We have a Daniel Smith, and he's a Miss Lana assistant, and he will join the trip. Unfortunately, this morning his house plumb broken. Yeah, so it's expected. These days I heard so many stories about flooding. Okay, so he just want to say hi to everyone. All right, so let's start it. Before we do that, maybe we should introduce just one sentence. Introduce yourself and which school you came from. And are you new students or returning students? Okay, let's start in the middle. How about you?
I'm Jeffrey Lee. I'm from Winston Churchill High School.
Can you stand up and nobody can see and say hi to everyone?
Hi everyone. I'm Jeffrey Lee. I'm from Winston Churchill High School, and this is my first year doing this.
Great. Excellent.
Hi, I'm Michelle. I'm here at Winston.
Hi, I'm Drew Berry. I'm a sophomore at Richard Montgomery and University.
I'm Colin Sewell. I'm from Rochester Public Schools.
I'm Vincent. I'm from John Paul in Virginia, and I'm sophomore. And this is the first year I come to the market. Thank you.
I'm Frank. I'm from Oakland High School, Fairfax, and this is my first year living in this spot.
I'm Javier. I'm from Oakland High School, and this is also my first year.
Yeah, lots of first year. Any more first year? Okay. Newton, okay, good. And who else? Okay, what about you?
My name is Chico. I'm from Woodrow High School. This is my first year.
Yeah, it's in BC. Alright, so time to the returning student. Okay.
Hi guys, my name is Brandon. I'm a sophomore at Montgomery High School, and I was a YBB coach.
Actually, number 2 was a question. Okay.
Okay, I'm Jeffrey Yin. I go to Winston Churchill High School, and also my last year in YBB.
Hi there, Bill Wu. Winston Churchill High School sophomore. I'm returning YBB member.
Okay, any returning? Returning? Okay.
Hi guys, I'm Grace, and I've been to the past years. And I believe this.
Alright.
Okay, I'll just introduce myself and just give you a little bit more detail. My name is Susan Lennon. I'm the education coordinator for Youth Building Bridges. I've been here since year 1, helping Mrs. Tang develop this program, and I mainly am responsible for helping with lesson planning and coordinating the teaching that goes on during the student service trip. So we have a PowerPoint presentation. We'll just go through to give you a basic outline of the program, and then after that we can do a question and answer. Answer any questions that you might have. Okay, so you're going to run the So we'll start with just a little bit of the history of YBB. YBB was founded actually, the first trip was in 2009, and it was to Sichuan province in response to the earthquake in 2008. Mrs. Tang took 5 students there to see how they could help service with resources, mentorship, friendship, whatever they could do. That was the first year. And since then, YBB has gone to several different locations. Last year, we had our first double trip, going to 2 locations. One group went to Gansu province and the other group went to Anhui province. So, what is YBB? We say that YBB is a character and leadership development program through teaching, exploration, and global service, or volunteer work. This program enables high school students to travel to rural, poverty-stricken areas of China to assist as teachers. We do have it's an education-based program, so the YBB students will serve as teachers, mentors, and friends to the local community there. So our program is divided into 4 parts. The first part begins in March. You know, we say that the global service trip is 2 weeks in July, but actually this program starts in March and continues on through July into the fall of next year. It is a large commitment. It's not just going for 2 weeks and then you're finished. We do a tremendous amount of preparation before we actually even go over to China. And it starts in March with our online training program. What we do online is work both individually and as groups to begin developing our lesson plans. This is a really important aspect of the program because we need to have as much time as we can to create and learn how to implement our lesson plans when we're there, because we do not have a lot of time once we arrive at the location. So we try to be as prepared as possible. I always say this is one of the most challenging parts of the program, especially for new students, because you do have to work independently and you do have to work in online group sessions. We also do meet here at C&T for the local students to try to give everyone extra help and effort during the online lesson planning stage. It can be sort of a challenging stage for students because they're not familiar with YBB and you sort of have to jump right in, and that's part of the challenge. We also like to see which YBB participants can set their own deadlines, meet their own deadlines, and reach out for help if they need it. So we teach academic courses, English language, computer science, history and social studies, science, health, hygiene and physical fitness, music and art. We teach a wide variety of subjects during the trip. It's a 2-week, very intensive program where you have several classes a day that you will serve as teachers in. So after part 1 of our online training is completed, or online lesson planning program, we try to structure it so we begin our lesson planning in March to have as much done as we can before the end of the school year, because students get so busy with exams, you know, and just busy life while they're trying to finish up, you know, their own high school year. So after the online training, we move into part 2 of the program, which this year is actually going to be a little bit different than what we've done historically. We've always had the intensive training part of our program here at C&T. Last year, we actually moved that training to Shanghai. This year, we are expanding that training and establishing the YBB Institute, which is going to be in Toming. This is the first year for the YBB Institute. We decided to expand the program into this part for several reasons. The first one being, we find we want to institute more leadership and discipline and personal character development training with the students. For a lot of reasons. We feel leadership is one of the most impactful skills that a student can have, and we feel more focus should really be put forth in terms of leadership, confidence, public speaking. So this year in Toming, we're doing a 2-week program. The first week focusing on leadership, public speaking. Second week focusing on intensive training for learning how to teach a group of students, teamwork, running a classroom, the basic skills that you will need to teach successfully in the service program. So that will be, June 29th through July 10th in Toming. So in addition to the YBB program, we also have a lot of extracurricular activities that we like to do with the students during the intensive training, especially because you're in, Shanghai. So we have 3 scheduled this year. The first one is the YBB Jiaotong University Youth Leadership Conference. We had our first conference at Jiaotong University last year, and it was very successful. So this year we will have our second leadership conference. This conference focuses on international youth leadership, and it's also exchanged with university students there and the high school students here. It's a very informative conference, and it's a really interesting and exciting chance for students to be able to share and exchange with students in China. Because the YBB Institute is located in Toming, we feel it's a really interesting location. Mrs. Tang chose Toming because it is so close to Shanghai, but it's also a new ecological city. It's really undergoing new development in a very eco-friendly environment. It's really the future of urban development. And she felt that this would be a really unique chance for the YBB students to get to see this development in progress. So she has arranged for a dialogue with community leaders to show our students the future and benefits of a new ecological city that is built around a natural environment, trying to integrate urban development into a natural setting. And that's the New China City Development Experience. And then we will also do sightseeing in Shanghai. So after the YBB Institute, we will embark on our trip to Gansu Province. This will go from July 11th to July 22nd. And here is a picture as a good representation of the kind of work you'll be doing. The YBB students will work in classroom groups. There will be groups of 5 students per classroom, teaching all of the subjects that we have just talked about. And every student will be responsible in some respect of teaching in the classroom every day. And finally, after the service project, we're very fortunate to have support from the Chinese government, and they have offered an extended trip, a cultural exploration of Gansu Province. It will be from July 23rd to July 31st, and you'll travel around the local Gansu area. And this is a great opportunity because it is of no cost to any students. Everything is paid for. It's just a great opportunity to do some more traveling and see the local culture in Gansu. So we talked a little bit about Toming, and it's a demonstration of a modern urbanization set among a natural landscape. This is a little bit about Gansu. Gansu is far to the north. From Shanghai, all the students will travel together during the entire trip. So all students will leave Shanghai, travel by train to Gansu Province. It's a 24-hour train ride. From there, they'll get on a bus. I think it was 4 or 5 hours on the bus to get to the school location. This year, YBB expects to bring about 60 students. So it's a large group. Last year, we divided those students and went to 2 different locations. But Mrs. Tang feels this year she'd like to keep the students closer together. So last year, the location was a middle school in Gansu. We will be returning to that location, but then also adding an elementary school in the local community. So the 2 groups will be teaching in different schools, but will be very close together. So application requirements, students must be actively enrolled in the high school. They must submit the application form along with the essay, and each student will undergo an interview process. It is a chance for us to just sit down and get to know you and see if you're ready and motivated to embark on a huge responsibility, because YBB is a huge commitment to take on. Applicants must demonstrate maturity and independence and be actively able to communicate with teachers and students in the local schools. One of the requirements of YBB is students must participate in every aspect of the program. They must be present and working during their online training. They must attend the YBB Institute in Chongming. They must go to Gansu. There's no room for coming for part of the trip, leaving early. We don't allow that. We simply have too much coordination to try to have everyone logistically be over there and traveling together. So if any student needs to understand and expect that they will be not allowed to leave early or have any unique schedule different from the rest of the group. Everyone must make the commitment for the full time period. This is just the application. One of the aspects of the interview is not just for us to get to know you, but you will also be asked to do a 3 to 5 minute demonstration to teach something. It can be something very simple. It doesn't have to be anything difficult. We just want you to see how comfortable you feel getting up and serving as teacher. You do not need any teaching skills at all. This is not to demonstrate that you already know how to teach, because we don't expect YBB students or applicants to know how to teach really at all. It's just for us to get a chance to see how comfortable you are standing up. And I think, of course, for the students it's probably very nerve-wracking, but it isn't meant to be. It's just meant for us to see what subject you choose and how comfortable you are. Just to be clear, all of our YBB students are very different ranges. We have students who are very confident and outgoing, students who are very shy. There are 60 students. We cover all personality traits, but this program is designed to really have students be more confident in public speaking, to stand up in front of groups, to work as a team, and to develop leadership skills. That is the big personal aspect of the YBB program. And as a YBBer, by the time you actually get to Gansu and begin teaching, we expect you to have enough training to be able to successfully stand up in front of the classroom. But in terms of being an applicant, you do not need to demonstrate that you know how to do that yet. That's part of the program. I wanted to mention one more thing. We frequently get asked about proficiency in language. I don't speak Chinese. I don't speak it very well. I'm nervous about that. You do not need to have any Chinese to go on the trip. We have people who speak it fluently, and then people who barely speak it at all. And so any proficiency in language is not a requirement on the trip. And people often ask, well, how do you teach classes? Because most classes are taught in Chinese. We also travel with students from Jiao Tong University who are fluent in English and Chinese, who will help serve as translators. And if you do speak Chinese or a little bit of Chinese, you will definitely get practice of it, because you will have to speak it. But teaching a class in Chinese can be a little challenging if you're not completely proficient using words that you don't know. But we have never really had a large language problem, and we have enough people who speak at a certain level to be able to successfully teach a class. So from here, we do have returning YBB students that are a great resource for questions. We had a presentation last weekend, and a lot of the questions became about just practically traveling, logistics, how things are good, how does the program actually work. So any questions, please. Mrs. Tang, do you want to come up? Any questions we have, we'd be happy to answer. Actually, I think hearing from a parent also. Ms. Robles, would you like to say a few words about YBB?
Well, there are more former YBB students coming to share with everyone together with the returning YBB. So we'll hold off questions for the YBB students. But right now, probably Ms. Chen wants to say a few words. Otherwise, people can ask questions. Ms. Liu Yi and myself, Diana Wolbs, went to YBB with YBB yesterday. I went to Gansu location and Liu Yi went to Anhui location. So you have, since this year is about Gansu, you have any specific questions, feel free to ask. I have so much to say about this program, too much, I don't have time. But let's deal with those critical issues or questions parents are mostly concerned.
Ms. Wolbs wrote a 100,000 word story about last trip right after she came back in 1 week. She was very excited about it. Yeah, if you want me to say something, and I would think I'm very, very excited about this year trip, and especially for the new part. And so you can see much structure. Before we only had a service project and online training and a small amount of in-house training. But I always feel like not enough because the students from nationwide, so some people from California, Massachusetts, Texas, everywhere, and so it's very, very difficult for us to manage the training part. And to me, I feel like this program really is a mutual benefit program. So some people may more focus on the one side, some people focus on the other side, but it's really a mutual benefits program. That's how the idea from. Why mutual benefits? One benefit is to our students who join the program. So after you join the program, you through 3 months online training, preparation, and the trip, and intensive training, and a service project. You learn a lot. You never learn from your school and inside the classroom. So I believe learning is two parts. One is from classroom, academic, and one you need to go out from your classroom, go to the real setting life, learn, then prepare for your college and future life. And another side benefits, especially through our service project part. So you go to the local. We purposely choose the rural area. Why? Because it's a lot of way to exchange, but we purposely, it's very difficult for us to organize the trip to the rural area, such a rural area, because in China is huge. China is a huge country, and past 20 years, so you might heard a lot of faster development in China. So, but only 20 years is not enough. So government spend a lot of effort, people lots of effort. So only can focus on the big city. So like Shanghai, Beijing, Guangzhou, all those kind of big cities. So it is very modern, very developed. It looks like a New York. It's economic, education, everything. When you go there, not that after 10 years, you go every year, you feel excited about it. Wow, another new building. Wow, another something. So you always feel excited about it. But you go to a rural area, it's how much you stay 10 years ago. So it's really lack of resources. So you are young people, teenage. So in the family, you might be kids. Parents call you children, teacher call you students. But when you go there, so you are count as a big resource. Okay, because the teacher there, they are like a middle school graduate. So they don't know much as you know. Your parents and the school and our community and offer you so much resource, develop you such a strong, outstanding student. So you go there, you become a resource. People depend on you. So for this whole project, we bring everything, including the paper and the pencil, everything we use for the teaching, and we gotta bring it, including your personal belongings, like math, quiz, everything. They don't have anything. Cup, we bring all the paper cup, everything, toilet paper, everything. Okay, so you will be the resource. Everyone depends on you. So yes, your parents and the community school already training you to be a great high school student, but the student have an opportunity to learn how to prepare such a serious, important project. And that's why the training part is to me so important. Online training help you prepare the lesson material only. We need 210 lessons because 10 days. You need every day 7 lessons. You need 7 lessons multiple 10. So you're gonna deliver 70 lessons. But things we don't have opportunity to go there to know the students' level. And every year they change. So we need to prepare 3 classes for each class, easy level, medium level, advanced level. So get you real prepared for your service. So you go there, oh, my lesson is too easy. What am I gonna do? Oh, my lesson is too hard. Kids cannot understand. So you get well prepared so you can be flexible to deliver your class well. So you need 210 lessons. That's a lot of material prepared. After you prepared, still have an issue. We never get 40 students sitting there. Some people might get tutoring, help one-to-one, but teach 40 students will be different. So we need to make sure Ms. Lana will help you, don't worry, and she will help you, and Ms. Smith, so we'll help you how to deliver your material. And besides Ms. Lennon and Mrs. Smith, you also have a team. Each class is 6 members, 5 U.S. members, and then 1 Chinese Jiaotong University student. So they are graduate students and PhD. They're much mature. But this program is for you. They will support you, help you. You work together as a team to get the lesson. So teamwork. So that's why I'm very excited about the 2 weeks in training. So we're going to give lots of more pop class, help you completely get ready, feel confident, and know how to do it. And in the training, I visited 2 weeks ago, checked everything was fine, and they have a classroom and a seating, all the speaker, all the video recorder. So we'll record every your movement, every words you say. If there's something wrong, so we can see immediately and fix it. Okay? It's a huge school, but that's the room I was most excited about. Hey, okay. Before we always have no this equipment facility to know what we did wrong. We just go there and learn by every day. So now we want to make sure you're completely ready and you know what you're going to do. Okay? Yeah, so I'm very excited about Tony Mop-Up. And in Tongmei also, we have a new opportunity because Tongmei is a part of Shanghai. Shanghai is a very modern city. So through this trip, we put lots of effort, we put lots of time, and so we want to make sure the trip is more efficient, you get more experience. So we're not only to help the rural kids and feel great of yourself and help them. Also, we want to use this opportunity so you can do lots of exchange with the modern city educational students. For example, we have a YBB Jiaotong University Leadership Conference one day in Jiaotong University. So you can talk about from different side of word, point of view, how you use leadership, how you think of you will be leader and contribute to the world. And second is a YBB. This is new. YBB with the Shanghai Community Leaders Dialogue. So you will have opportunity to dialogue with a really leader. I call you future leaders, okay? You work so hard, you're future leaders. So we will have an opportunity for you to direct dialogue with all these local real leaders, how they run their organization, their company, their institute. So see, you have a different layer. You communicate with the Chinese college students, so you get idea how the college students like and the point of view. So that's your next level, right? Then we'll have a even more deeper level and let you to directly talk to the local community leaders. So that's your next level. Hey, when I graduate my college, what I gonna should be? What it looks like? Okay, this is real people. Yeah. Besides that, of course, we will have all the small exchange activity with the Tongming high school, middle school, and people do. Those is called small. That too is big event. And we have a one-day like sightseeing that you have an opportunity to travel around Shanghai before you go to Gansu. Did you talk about the last part of Gansu?
Just a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And after these 3 parts, online training, Tongming Institute